Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the ZRacing Series, race number 4 in the Race Like a Champ series. It's been all about World Championship courses, and we are out on Knickerbocker, where we saw, I believe it was Jay Vine. I might be incorrect about that, but I think it was Jay Vine, crowned world champion, actually, and it's going to be good. Knickerbocker's got quite the climb right in the middle of it, out on the New York course. We're in with the A's, the B's, the C's, and the D's out here today for Z Racing. Dave, real quick overview as they are about to hit up our first climb for the A's. They're about 2.6 kilometers in right now, but Z Racing, it's all about race as much as you need to and much as you want to get your best time, GC time, across all of the stages throughout the month.
Makes it really challenging, Nathan, when you throw the the New York KOM in the mix. I mean, this is going to, because typically the courses that we've been on don't have a challenge like this. It's like right in between a kilometer and a mile at over 6%. That's going to get rid of a decent number of riders in the group, which really are kind of the engine room a lot of times for the keeping the speed high, but that's going to affect every single group that heads out to take on this challenge. So what do you think today? I mean, we'll look at the numbers, but if you get more than 50% of your air quotes peloton over the top of New York KOM, you're probably in pretty good shape to have a fast time for your group, a productive working group. And then, I mean, this is a really hard course, to be honest. 350-ish meters of climbing over 22K. This is no walk in the proverbial park.
It's one of the hardest I think there is, to be honest, Dave. They're going to take this left-hand turn over the top of the Cat's Hill here. A 10% gradient right now. They're going to make their way around the lower parts of the New York Central Park, and then they're going to make their way up toward the top. What do we call them? We were calling them rainbow roads for quite a while, with those translucent roads. And Dave, it's interesting to see Teppo Lorio here is on the front. And one thing, I do have the current sitting results for the overall GC right now at this moment. But the thing about them is that their current standings are based off of there is a race that got thrown into the middle of all this. So right now, RT Kaboom is at the front at 153. You see that? Because he's got 4 races though. So he's already raced this race once, okay, in this 4 events. If I go a little further down the standings, at the bottom there, Teppo Lorio with 3 events was the leader coming into this week. Everybody else that's above him, as you're seeing from 19 all the way up to first place, are riders who've got 4 events in. So Lorio, I think, looking at that, I think he's out here to make this as fast as he possibly can and win it to have the GC overall for this month.
Okay, great catch, Nathan. Can I look at it from the other side then? Was it Svein Stolsmo? Was he the rider that was leading? If let's just say this stage didn't happen. No. So after 4, so the riders that have done 4 events, it's Vigo then. Here, the Danish rider.
So at the top, RT, who's actually in chat, has the fastest time with 4 events. From 1st to 19th, there's only 19 riders that have 4 events in the A's up to this point right now in the standings that we have.
Great. Okay, and Nathan, so I'm looking from Teppo up here, from DP. I don't see anyone. And could you do me a favor and go back and look at 1 through 10? I just want to see all those names. Okay. There's no one that, unless please get on chat and let me know if I'm missing someone, but I don't think that there's a significant danger guy there. So I think it's all
Kaboom is pretty strong. He's a strong rider.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was looking at R. Thomas and I didn't get all the way to Kaboom. So good point, Nathan. That would be the guy then that just sits in all day, right, and attacks late.
I mean, he's currently got the fastest time at 153.
That's what I was trying to find.
He said it was a recon, though, that he did. So I'm wondering if this is the one where he's really looking to beat out Teppo. And the big question is, where did he sit prior to prior to taking that on, is he up on Teppo? That's another question that we don't have answered. So there's a lot of questions to be answered here at the end of this race. We'll see if we can get the data on it, whether or not we can answer those questions. It's going to be an interesting one here, though, as we head down into kilometer number 6, because it's already fast and furious. Teppo Lorio went over the top of Cats Hill. Absolutely insane. And we're not even into the climb just yet. And now Kaboom's pushing.
Yeah, so you know what I think, Nathan? He realizes that the time that he did earlier today won't be faster than the time he's getting from this. So, again, the format is super unique. It's cool about Zwift. You have to be Rip Van Winkle to stay up all night to be able to know every stage that happened. But some of these races, as Nathan pointed out, 19 riders have already completed stage 4. We're into stage 4 right now as well, and you could do it again and again a few times throughout the rest of this week. So that being said, this has been one of, if not the fastest group. So this is where you get your best time. And if you can get out in front of this group, well, then now you're really cooking with gas. And so that's obviously RT Kaboom is one of the, I would say, significant players that we've had throughout the last few months of covering this Z Racing on Monday, which, by the way, has been an absolute pleasure to be in the mix with these events. We've gotten to know a lot of riders. I see names, Nathan, tuning up for Zwift Games. Man, are you as pumped as I am for this?
I definitely am. Been doing my research.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in as one of the analysts, and we've been making our selections for the riders to watch, and definitely have a few of them showing up to some of the Z Racing here and there, as well as within the Zwift Racing League. So going to be a great weekend with the sprints taking place, 3 races back to back. Definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. I know you've been doing a couple interviews as well, Dave.
Yeah, I wanted to throw, not an interview that I was doing, but I wanted to throw a name at you out here today. And that was Leeson, Joachim Leeson. But yes, I had a chance to talk to, well, for one, Martin Mertens. What a cool dude. I can't wait for you to have a chance to see a bit of that conversation. That's for sure. Zwift Games, it feels like to me, this is the rider that I'm talking about, the Danish rider. Who, I mean, don't you get the feeling he's tuning up, Nathan?
100%.
Teppo Lorio,
watch out for Leeson, Lorio, both of them in there when it comes to some of the top names for
Verm.
Yeah,
another one.
Verm. Well, is Verm going to show up? I wonder. I'm not sure that Verm's going to be there. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I saw him on the.
It's a huge start list.
It is.
It's a huge massive list. Which is extremely cool to see that. I mean, it's a who's who, without any doubt, of esports racing. And if John Verm isn't there, I'm going to be surprised and disappointed. So while we have a chance to catch our breath out here, maybe during one of the long climbs to the New York KOM, as Nathan, this is what it's all about, to tell you the truth, right here, speaking of New York KOM. And you were calling this the Diamond Tunnel? Was that
the translucent section of course here? We also called it Rainbow Road in the past, but we have to be careful as Nintendo might have an issue with us stealing a little bit too much from them once in a while.
Is that what they call it?
Rainbow Road in Mario Kart was a translucent rainbow road that you could get into. That was like one of the final, boss, like essentially courses that you would take on. So
I'm 100% pleading ignorance on that. I never did the Mario Kart thing. All right, but let's look at this. So I talked about how, a good example of this might be in the last 20, 30K of a stage race when you've got a team that wants to have a sprint, but boy, it is hard to keep this group together. So you just start filling in gaps because this is really this is the moment, to tell you the truth, for a lot of these riders out here today, getting through the next 2-3 minutes here, just keeping your head above water. Hey, isn't this the new French esports champion that you're queuing up here?
Jeffrey Milor, maybe. You have to double check and see.
I thought
it looks like it. I mean, he's got a kit on. It looks like the French national kit.
Okay, I want to correct myself.
I mean, he's got the kit in game, so he just showed us. As you can see, there it is. So, and he is definitely one to watch out for Zwift Games. I know he's on the start list. I was taking a look at riders to watch, and it looks like he's showing up here with the top level of Z Racing right now to show us that he is a rider to watch. It's going to be a very punchy course when it comes to that looped loop, as well as the Jurassic coast. I mean, if he can make it through those, this is a guy here from Hexagon definitely putting it to everybody else here. Niall's there. Kirkfield is here as well. Now, Niall's also on the start line from Restart, and not sure he's going to be, having the best time in the sprint courses, but he's one to watch out for the Epic as well as the final Alp climb, actually, as he now goes with 4.
Like
Look at this. 4, Dave. Now, off the front, you rarely see this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Galacticos, as we would say. Kirkfield is there. This Watt wagon now is with Teppo Lorio. You talked about Niall, and then the freshly minted French champion. And Teppo Lorio, actually, Nathan, not in the Finnish jersey, but I believe he just won the Finnish Esports Championship as well. So there's been a lot of crowning of Esports champions around the globe over the last few weeks, months, maybe, but Teppo, he's truly a king of he should be a galaxy leader. Jeffrey Malure attacking that super group now as Kirkfield on the front, Malure chasing. Nathan, this is really, really a unique day out here. Race like a champ. Boy, they're making him prove it.
This is not a rider I'm really familiar with, actually. So
I know the team.
To see him, yeah, for sure. And it's always good to see a new name amongst the front crowds here within this Z Racing A category. Everybody's energy bar completely empty. Tells you everything you need to know here, Dave. Anvils, though, Dave, these anvils are going to make a difference. That's for sure. On these downhills, if you don't have one and you're not on a wheel, because you're over the top when it comes to the look at the speed.
There you go.
Look at the speed here, Dave.
So, Nathan, you don't see a more impactful power-up than the Anvil. It became a super power-up over the last 6 months or so. I've heard multiple elite, I'm talking about the highest level of racers, talking about how this is the power-up that they love so much, and here goes Levesque. So it is on like Donkey Kong. Again, downhills, the new uphills, and Nathan, it's fair to say that Anvils maybe help start that trend.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, for sure. I would say that the Anvil's 100%. Noah Levesque here, one of the youngsters, it looks like, on the front. Watch out for him. Him and Niall now going away. And Locke's groom here as well. Young, looks like some little bit of frustration from some of the riders, as you can see.
Oh, no.
But we'll leave that alone. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Zwift Academy. Maybe be careful, everybody, because you might regret the things that you say in game, regardless of whether or not they are true. But now B. Martin here, Verm, as well as RT Kaboom, trying to come on back.
Okay, Nathan, as far as it goes, I think it's fair to say 2 months we've been covering every Monday these Z Racing events. This is the smallest group. We haven't seen it shatter like a crystal vase out here that time. I'm not surprised. In the pre-show, we talked about the New York KOM, the impact it's going to have it right in front of your eyes here.
This is a big deal right here. Look at this here, Dave. This is a big deal. RT is off the back. He is the man we were talking about. They've dropped him at this point. There's Dave. This is losing
Cruel.
the GC right now. 9 seconds is what he's got to make up. What's the total Ks on this here? This might be him.
22.5.
This might be him losing the overall when it comes to the GC right here, right now. If they drive the pace, L'Oreal's now on the front, as you can see, 4.9 watts per kilogram, and he's got everything to gain here by pushing this pace right now.
Oh, yeah. And there is no doubt it is bananas. The Wild Wild West is out here in Central Park. And these guys now, it's going to be Teppo Lorio here, the Wahoo Lacole superstar, driving it on the front. Is that even 20? It's not. Making the front group right now. So a mega selection being made. We're going to see riders coming over the top like Ornpoft here, the Danish rider. Lau is there. Kirkfield up there. Niall hanging on in this group. This is a great ride for the restart, man.
Yeah, good ride here by everybody that's made this front group. And now you see L'Oreal saying that he's willing to do the work. Of course he is. He's got everything to benefit here. Let's roll through. Niall now trying to push the pace as well. We do see behind it's going to be, is that a chase group? I see two riders trying to come back here, Dave. Is that going to be Right. It is RT. It is RT. He's driving. Oh, man. He's got everything to win right now here as he's trying to bring this back.
It's really tactical right now because, listen, Teppo Lorio realizes that he wants to keep this guy out of the group more than anyone. But if he plays all his cards racing just against RT, well, that's a fool's errand because all of a sudden you're going to have a whole bunch of hungry wolves attacking you left, right, and center. So this is going to come back now. I mean, it just really catching it right now, realizing ambition and using that against a rider. RT still has to do the work to chase into a very, very fast group, but it doesn't look like at 5 seconds now, still not caught yet, is it, Nathan? I mean, we've seen riders get it down to 5 seconds and still not ultimately make the catch. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here over the next K. He's got to get back into that slipstream here. It's sort of like being on a life raft that's losing air. Some help doesn't hurt. There you go. Help is on the way. John Verm.
Verm now getting involved. Kaboom now kicking again up in the 9 watts per kilogram just to hold on, it looks like. It's 171 beats per minute. 4 seconds now is the difference. We see Martin now at the back just waiting, it looks like, to pounce. L'Oreal back to the front, Dave. How long can Kaboom keep this up for? I mean, this is absolutely insanity here up at 7 watts per kilogram or so. We'll see if he can continue on as L'Oreal now pushes 6 at the front as well as Schleitman.
Teppo Lorio is almost saying, look, if I do half the work, will you guys do the other half, looking at the entire front group, right? I mean, he's like really, really pushing hard just to keep the momentum going, and guys are coming through. It's Kirkfield taking a look at the watts from Kirkfield, so he's actually more than just coming through. He's attacking out of this group. It's going to be mayhem, all-out mayhem out here today. So what an interesting race. Very rarely do we see, something happen at the course today. Always, Nathan, we say racers make the race, and today they did for sure, but also the course had a bigger statement than usual with that sick climb, New York KOM.
Yeah, it's always good to see when the racers have a course that also makes the race, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting how it's like, yeah, that's a great soup, but when you add some spice, it's even better. And I think that's what we've got here. So Levesque going to look to come over the top, or is he? Boy, it is such a unique group. Dan Groom is up here. Haven't really mentioned him yet. Lisson comes into this one now. I mean, he's sharpening the sword. Nathan, if John Verm, the ESRT rider, isn't racing Worlds, it seems like a tremendous waste of some great fitness to me. I mean, anybody who's riding this group. I'm not seeing
him on the start list.
He's not there,
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
No Kirkfield, no Verm. I'm not sure Martin either. So, a lot of these riders, they've got the power here. So maybe should have put in for that. Too bad to see. But, if you really want to put that stamp of approval, you got to race at the highest level when it comes down to it. But now here we go with locks. It's going to be Villarino, Martin, Young, now all toward the front.
Yeah. Okay, Nathan. So here we go. I mean, it's starting to look like with the distribution of talent amongst this group, it's hard to see one rider attacking and going clear, especially, I mean, you look at now what they've got in front of them, they're either going up or down at this point. There's really no flat at any point in Central Park from here to the finish line.
Yeah, now we do see, did they actually break RT? Did that actually happen? I'm seeing in chat here, perhaps they actually did. Is he off the back? What? 10 seconds now, Dave? I was not expecting this. I thought for sure they'd be able to come back, but they dropped him on the climb and almost made it. But Dave, it was only 2 seconds. I thought it was done, but no, it is not. Verm made it back. No, Verm's off the back as well.
It was down to 5.
Wow.
Verm actually, yeah. Well, Verm wasn't even able to hold the pace with RT's chase, who's now gone out to 10 seconds. The thing is, I mean, it's funny. You can look, it's both sides of the coin. When they had it down to 4 seconds there, it's still, you realize that was not a done deal. And as more riders started pitching in and helping in this group, well, the gap went out to 10 seconds. But now they've got to keep working to hold him off as the shape of this group shows me that they are, to tell you the truth, and that even more so right now, starting to string it out, getting down to it pretty soon. I mean, it's fair to say this is the last 5K. We're entering now the red zone of this race where it gets really, really painful.
I like that. I like that call there. It's the red zone. We're into, can they get a touchdown? Is that what Dave, the Super Bowl was like a couple weeks ago. I don't know. But
I think in football, that's the 20-yard line into the end zone. They call it the red zone, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the red zone here. They're going to make their way again on the other way, the other side of this Cat's Hill. They're going to make a really steep punch, Dave, and then it's going to be across that kind of false flat section, run into a downhill sprint. Actually, I did this sprint the other day, not in this race. Actually, it was a different race, but this is an interesting one for sure. I did this in the tiny races over the weekend, and it is very, very tactical sprint now, Dave. It's so different the way that you have to sprint this one than they have in the past. The ramp up, there's a lot of learnings here about how to correctly time things now, because the timings have changed a lot.
Yeah, I mean, great Zwiftcraft plays out huge. This is a course that's an old familiar favorite for sure. I'm looking at the sprinters to watch, and the biggest benefactor from the fact that Kaboom or RT Kaboom is not in this group, it has to be Kirkfield, who's been the dominant sprinter in this series really throughout this calendar year. Other riders to watch, and there's always other riders to watch. Jan Bauer, Nathan, has he made this front group today? He's another one of the really talented sprinters that we've got, but I'm not sure that he was able to make it either, as it's our man Niall having a tremendous ride today.
Yeah, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Niall here at this moment as he pushes up and over the top. I mean, his only chance, sorry to Niall, I think, when it comes down to this, is for him to try and break this even further. So he went where he's the best, is on an uphill climb, and he's trying to make this as hard as it can because, Dave, it's this punch, a little bit of a down, and then right on into a long, false uphill flat until it flattens out at the top when they go along the Central Park. Is there like a lake or a pond on the right-hand side in Central Park, I believe there? And so once they hit that section, Dave, then it's flat into a downhill sprint. So that was his only real chance. Now he's at the back here. Now up and over the top, it's going to be Levesque, it looks like.
Yeah, and I mean, this group is getting thinned out throughout this entire race. It might stabilize now. I mean, if that doesn't drop guys out of this group, I don't know that anything will. Jeffrey Malure up there proudly showing you that French.
I am sorry. My mistake. Look, my mistake here, Dave, on this course. I may have been thinking they were going to take the left-hand turn. They took the right-hand turn, and now the lake is on their left-hand side, and they're going to go left into a downhill, actually, uphill kick sprint. So it's the opposite way of what I was thinking. It's actually an uphill kick, which may favor some riders here that if they can time things correctly, they could carry enough speed to take on the pure sprinters.
I tell you, I mean, it's an interesting one. If you look at it, Nathan, in the last K and a half, you're really rolling downhill. It's really hard to get any kind of gap on a decent sized group. And I mean, so when you hit the bottom, it's really going to be about, I really think, positioning and having that momentum, slingshotting through, because it's not a lot of uphill, but it's relative. It's a pitch up to the finish line. Pretty fits this course, to tell you the truth. Undulating is selling it short, that's for sure. The group's starting to settle down just a little bit. These guys realizing that in about 3K, this is all going to be done and dusted.
Yeah, 3K all said and done or so. So now as it calms down, they're going to start looking at each other and wondering who's got the kick to the line, if anybody's going to try and make that 1, 2, or 3K to go last ditch effort. Villarino, Kirkfield. It's going to be Nesset, Heaney. I'm not familiar with Heaney, actually. This is a newer name to me.
And I'm looking to see, did Torben Oxen make it? Typically he does, but I don't think he did today either. So, but I tell you, some of the biggest names in sprinting who took the start were not able to survive the thresher that was the New York KOM, but Alex Heaney made it, and he's got his energy bar has as much of a tank half full.
Yeah, that's interesting to see here with Heaney. Really seems to have a whole lot left.
This is not the most accurate fuel gauge. Like, you wouldn't want to head out into the Mojave Desert using this as your gauge.
Well, I don't know.
What I mean, Nathan?
What if he's been sitting in following moves? I mean, you never know. This guy might be just on fire.
Okay,
today.
then my money's on him. If you believe in the energy bar technology algorithm.
Look, I didn't say that. All right. Well,
I think it went up. I think it just went up. He just ate a Cliff Bar or something. All right. But all joking aside, Nathan, this is it. This is a really hard sprint to do after half an hour of these near threshold efforts. They haven't backed off much at all here, as making the most of 122.5 kilometer loop around Central Park here in New York. I've always absolutely loved this world. And there's the attack. So Levesque going.
Yeah, nice little punch here from Levesque. Kirkfield now is going to close it down. This is going to be the lead out train, I think, from the two or three of these. I think everybody's going to shut it down, and it's going to be, watch out for Young, watch out for Groom. He's a dark horse here. Somebody I haven't seen a whole lot from, but I think Teppo Lorio, out of the experience of this group, I don't think necessarily that Teppo Lorio has the power to match everybody in this group. He might be the right phenotype actually for this sprint. So he's got the most experience as well.
And he has the most to win just by having this group finish fast. Because as long as I think if we assume his biggest danger man was RT, and RT's not in this group, then I think he's the big winner of the day. Although there's probably other riders in this group. There's certainly other riders in this group that are going to move it up on the GC. But here we go into the finale, Nathan. This is the downhill to the uphill.
Yeah,
launch pad time.
Ornoff's on the front. That's a little bit early. I'm seeing a lot of feather power-ups being popped. Here comes Jeffrey Milor now 13 watts per kilogram. Big kick from him, but it's going to be Patterson trying to make it happen. It's really a fight to the line. Lorio, though, looking good. Is he going to get it? Look at Lorio. Teppo, can he do it all the way to the line? I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing here, but it looks like it's going to be Kirchfield and Milor. Oh, my gosh, that was so close.
Wow.
Good racing all around.
Boy, they went to the bottom of the Watt well and just scraped around for the last painful Watt. That's going deep. That's going to really benefit those guys if they head into the Zwift Games coming up here this weekend. So an incredible Nathan, are you kidding me? The Bees are already into the final 2.5K of racing. So one of our real pleasures has been covering all of the different categories of racing. Nathan, you do a great job with this, and it looks like a similar situation. They started with 163. That front group, I didn't look that long at it, Nathan, but it looked like maybe a baker's dozen, 15 at the most, I'd say, in the front group for our Bees, unless there's one rider off the front.
One rider off the front is going to be Lankman, and he's been pushing up pretty steady, right around 4 watt per kilogram, actually, at the upper levels of B category. I think he just had a really, really good really good kick up over the top and then held on to it when it came to the Knickerbocker climb. Now he's going to take this left half turn. I think they've kind of let him go at this point, perhaps. Maybe they may. I mean, 9 seconds here. Will Womack be able to? It's just not quite enough speed. It looks like here, Dave. I don't know. 9 seconds. Can they do it?
Yeah, they can. I hate to say it. But I guess I'm.
And here's the thing: he's been there a long time, Dave. And I think I think you're right. They've been there a long time now. They need to really work together, though, and not just let this go away at this point. If he gets too much speed and too much distance at this point, it's going to be game over quickly.
No, I completely agree, Nathan. I just feel like right about now they're going to at 3, 2, 1, activate. Riders start rolling through, and they can, but they're not actually.
No, they're not. They didn't activate anything, Dave. You tried to pull the Power Rangers, and it just didn't work. I don't know what happened there.
And now all of a sudden, I'm going to go with your original thought and say Lankman's gone. If they're not going to activate when I tell them to activate, they're not going to make the catch.
Get with the program, guys. Activate. Didn't work.
So the problem is now everybody's looking at each other to do the work. It's a classic standoff situation, right? I'll start pulling when you start pulling. Why don't you take the first one? Well, you go ahead, help yourself, right? And Nankman's like, fine, that's cool with me because I'm inside of 1K to go. So red kite prayers are going to come true for Lankman, the Nederlander.
Yeah, he's got 4.8. Nobody's going. Garuso, DBR here. Now push him to 4.5, but at 12 seconds, Dave, he's already taken the left-hand turn into the downhill. I mean, the kind of sprint they would have to have, they'd have to be doing, I don't know, like 70 kilometers per hour plus at this point. Yeah, I mean, there's no light speed happening here. Lankman's going to walk away with this one.
I think he really earned this because if they couldn't organize to chase him back, they had it down to 9 seconds with just under 2K to go. Well, this is what you get when you play games.
Yep.
There's a saying that goes along with that. This is what you get
when you play games. Morris now, big kick. I saw 17 watts per kilogram from Demanche. He's going for second. Lakeman's going to cross the line ahead, but Dave, too much too early. Garuso, DBR kicks through. Like I said, it's all about the timing. All about the timing. That's for second place for Garuso. Oh. Nicely done. Lankman, though, on the side of the road. Joachim Leeson's there, too. Huh? Get a little bit of...
yeah, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, they're sharing war stories, it looks like. We're in with 62nd place here in the C category. Let's see if we can move forward here. Hagen from BRT. Let me just highlight everybody. Why don't we just keep talking?
You know, pizza slices are a big part of the lore of Zwift, right? You earn your slices along the way. You're not going to find a better slice than Ray's Pizza in New York, which is probably you're within about...
Really?
Oh, I would heartily say that. Yes, I think I probably get a lot of supporters online as well.
I need
certainly a classic New York thing.
Dude,
right?
You're making me so hungry right now.
I know. I knew that was the danger.
Ray's Pizza. What the heck?
There's a lot of them too. So, okay. Well, I don't mean to. I want to focus on Coalcloth, Nathan.
No, let's talk about pizza. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, he's earning it. The Wales known for pizza. No, they're not. I wonder what the classic food for Wales is. We always we spent so much focus on Scotland, which was worthy and valid, and
I should know this. But for some reason, I feel like I should know
it feels like. Bangers and mash, is that a Welsh thing?
Yeah, maybe. No, Scotland, maybe. Now here, real quickly, I want to just highlight that the current leader with 4 wins actually is Adam Stainton with a 2:13.49 for the GC overall.
Oh, he's got a big...
don't know. That's
relative.
Pretty good.
Oh,
yeah, pretty good.
Same situation, though.
Yeah, I'm looking through. There's been a lot of C's. I can't, top 30. We don't even have 3 events within the top 30, actually. So I'm not even going to show it any longer. But Coalcloth's making a move.
The way these guys are flying and just the way things have gone through the last few months, we see the fastest times 70% of the time coming from this slot of racing. So we'll see if the C's can back that up down to 1.3K to go. This is an outstanding ride, I must say. Coalcloth putting it to him. Now, 3 second, if not the 12 that we saw from Lannert, the Dutch rider earlier, but this is still going to be tough to bring back. He's got the numbers, he's putting them up on the board. They're not really right now. Are they matching him back there?
I saw 3 for a second, but they're not super interested. I think they're trusting. They're trusting that the Anvils and the roll through, Bont is there, the Favre. These are familiar names when it comes to sprint. Oh, G Coach is here. Our FBB Pro is back. It's going to be Greg Doucette is back in the house, and he won last week on the in the Glasgow sprint, the champion sprint. Will he do it again? It's a little different sprint this time here, Dave, but I have a feeling he's trusting. He's got Coalcloth is going though. 4.7. He's all in at this point, Dave. He's got 5 seconds. He's got 2 more.
It's like David versus Goliath. It's Coalcloth now trying to hold him off. This guy is like a superstar in the YouTube bodybuilder world. And Nathan, he crushed it last week. It's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, that group is starting to stretch out in the chase. So they're activating. This is where they're going to try to use this as a launch pad. Coalcloth has got to hold the power. Speed is your friend.
He's got it.
Pulling for the Welshman.
I think he's got it. I think he's got it. It's within sight almost. Oh, it's right there for Dave. They're coming quickly. 9.7 watts per kilogram, but they don't got the kick. I don't think they got the watts per kilogram to come through. Dave, it's right in front of him. Here comes Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette, 10 watts per kilogram. So much speed. He's going to do it, Dave.
Greg's going to get it.
Oh, man. Doucette comes across. It's going to be Brown and Kittleson. He doesn't even get third off the podium. No. Coalcloth.
Oh, no. second I said he had it, all of a sudden, Greg.
It was the food call, Dave. It was the food call. We went from pizza to something. I don't know what the other thing was you even said. Poutine. We got to get it right. We got to get it right.
It went from pizza to poutine out there on us, where we had all lined up for the Welshman. And then the Canadian swooped in, the Canadian muscle man.
Yeah, that's what it was. You're right. It was the poutine from the Canadian. That's exactly what the problem was. Dang it, Dave.
Holy cow. That was bananas. I don't know what to say. I'm frustrated. I'm elated, Nathan. I mean, all the emotions. Do you have the D's? Yes.
We're in with Ty Diddy, and he is off the front. Our fitness journeyman is gone again. Good on him.
We love this guy.
He's going to take the dubs out here most likely, but I'm going to find second, and now is it going to be Horn perhaps here?
Oh, can I? So the gold Tron bike that their winners of the overall get at the Zwift Games, Nathan, is that not bananas?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you to Wahoo for that. The activation around the event, just extremely cool to see that it reminds me of some of the best races in America that have come with an auto as the prize, like the good old Red Zinger Classic used to win a VW Rabbit, which at that time, that was a cool car. It's a good car to have. Well, this is going to be such an awesome cold hard cash goes along quite nicely with it. But let's call this finish as these guys are down to 2.2K to go. So
wait a second here. What is going on? That's Mr. Smiley. That's Mr. Smiley from the old books. What were those called? There was like Mr. Happy, Mr. Smiley. Do you know what I'm talking about? These books?
No,
from when I was a kid? Come on, chat, help me out. Oh my gosh, Mr. Happy. Oh man, I gotta find this now.
Is that Mr. Happy or Mr. Smiley?
No, Mr. Happy. I'm gonna bring up. I'm bringing it up. I've got to just do it because this is just too awesome. Like, no, seriously. This is like childhood memories, 100%. Mr. Happy came from the men's show. Let's see here. This was UK-US Books, also in France, released 1971, preceded by Mr. Greedy and Mr. No, followed by Mr. Nosy and Mr. Impossible. That's not Mr. Happy, though. Who is that one? Help me out, chat.
He looks full. Like he's definitely patting his stomach.
There's Mr. Tickle, Mr. Bump, Mr. Little Miss Bossy. There's so many of them. They're so good.
That's almost assuredly Mr. Tickle.
That is Mr. I think you're right. I think, no, it's not Mr. Tickle. No, it's not. It's not.
No? All right.
No, it's not. Oh, these are legendary books. They really are. My grandma had a bunch of them at the house, and I would read them when I was a kid. I absolutely love them. It's so great to me that this guy has them on there. I absolutely love it. Mr. Tubby? I think Niall says it's Mr. Tubby.
That's
Mr. No Slim.
Not
that
knowing
sounds
anything
really
about it.
This is the Mr.
Who tickles themselves too, which is sort of ridiculous. So Mr. Tubby.
There's Mr. Nosy. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them, you guys. Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Oh, they're getting caught.
I don't know in this day and age.
They're distracted by, oh boy, Joe Biden. He's getting the vote. Is this actually the name Joe Biden in game? Is it, or is it not?
American flag, I'm looking, actually.
I'm double checking. There's no profile pic. So Jay Biden going for the win. Oh man! No, wait a second. Oh no, you guys! This is for the look behind him. This is actually for the stream. You know it is.
Oh,
this is some of the best. This is some of the best comedy we could possibly have. Honestly. Oh no, we lost him.
Holy cow!
Oh, look what you guys did. You wrecked it. Nobody wants that. See, that's because nobody wants this.
Hey, people are so upset with our election that they just said no. Neither.
Oh man, Trump is rocking away with it. It looks like at this point. Oh no, Rinkema's going to make it happen though. Ty Diddy's already crossed the line. It's going to be Mr. I can't remember his name. Eggert's now coming across the line. We'll get the results in a second. Sorry, everybody. Trump and Biden screwed it up for us.
That's funny. No. That really fits, Nathan. Over the years, we've talked about how the D's have the most fun. I think today,
really, they had a lot. We had a lot of fun with that one. Regardless, oh my gosh, that was good. That was actually really good. Let me see if I can find. I really want to know.
I need to take a drink of water.
Mr.
We're gonna do our results.
Mr. Men,
Mr.
purple guy, purple one. Mr. Men, purple one. No, see, that's Mr. Impossible. There's a whole list. There's a list on Wikipedia that you can actually see. Well, I found it now. And it might not even been, that guy might not even been one of them. I swear he was. See, this list must have been made before. Dang.
He might be from a completely different universe of characters that
I could have sworn
that's the world we live in now. There's so much info. He looks like he was close to the vibe that you were looking for. He
totally fit it. He had to have been a later one or something, that guy, because he looks just like the Mr. Men books. The chat thinks this is hilarious. It's Mr. Greedy. Mr. Greedy. Everyone's saying it's Mr. Greedy.
Man, we started with Mr. Tickle. We then went to
It is Mr. Greedy. It is Mr. Greedy. Good job, chat. Good job, chat. You did it. Oh my gosh, I love it. You know,
community is strong.
We were having a conversation last week about this crew, this Monday ZRacing crew. You guys are the best. Like, seriously. Look, I totally get it. And like, you guys show up, you get a great workout. You are very honest in your chat about what you think, but at the same time, most of you keep it pretty chill. To the point, relatively. And I appreciate that. And everybody's here for a great workout. The GC standings are fun. You make your point.
They make their points and they move on.
Yeah. And then we have, and everybody knows where things are at in some respect. And everybody's here for a good workout. And we'll have the money on the line at Zwift Games. And everybody will do their weigh-ins and verified and everything. And we call it out. You guys, I call it out on purpose. Hey, if you're a real deal, go get the real thing. Let's go. But we have a lot of fun here on Mondays. So that's tongue in cheek every single time I say, hey, you're really fast. You should do Zwift Games. Really, you really should. But it's always in good fun, though, because everybody's having a good workout and having a good time here, I think.
If we were handing out Wahoo Bike gold editions, it would be a whole different story for sure. But yeah. And that's
not
coming
up.
Not
to be confused with Mr. Perfect. Oh my gosh, Mike Sarnecki, and as well as a few others in here. I absolutely love this. This is good stuff.
This is our best crew. I'm really thinking this Monday crew is where it's at, right? For a while, it's been all over the map over the last 4 years, but I think we've really settled in here.
How did ZRacing though? That's the funny thing is that the ZRacing.
It's weird. I wouldn't have thought it.
I would have never thought that ZRacing would be the place where like everybody just shows up and has a blast. It's good stuff though.
And it's such an eclectic crew too. I mean, it's a lot of the best European racers that we have, a nice mix of the Canadians and Americans as well. And it's as international as any of the racing that we do. So yeah, keep it up, everybody. Definitely.
Go join. Jaden's inviting me to do the 4 p.m. All right, Jaden. I'm coming.
All right, the Wisconsin boys.
Actually, I don't know if he's stalking me or what, but he has been in like so many. I actually was thinking about contacting him and Bahati for this summer, to be honest. So just so you know, Jaden, I'm thinking about it. We'll get the Masters Zwift crew just trying to go kill all the races. Just go down, do as best as we can.
All of a sudden, the average speed goes up another 2 kilometers per hour at U.S. Masters racing, which is already insanely fast. Like those races don't have lulls really much anymore. It's either full gas or gas. So, yeah. Good luck.
Now everybody's like, oh man, they want to jump in. It's good to hear. Okay, looks like 4 p.m. is going to get nutso. It sounds like. Let's take a look at our results here real quickly. We've got, where's my replays? I want to see what happened here to the line. as James Leung leading things out, as you can see, but it wasn't to be for him, as it's going to be Schleichmann not also able to hold on. I absolutely love these three to the line, though. Look at L'Oreal, look at Milor, the French national champion. Kurtfield's there, the Dragons versus everybody else, as usual. I think Kurtfield just barely held on for it, but Teppo, look at Teppo. Man, Teppo, if you can have that kind of timing in Zwift Games, man, like up against this kind of field, and you sat in, you did the work the way that you need to. Well done there, L'Oreal. Like, I don't know, Dave.
Man,
maybe Teppo's coming on to a different form. I mean, I wonder. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, there would not be many complaints from the community if Teppo ended up winning the Zwift Games. That would be phenomenal. This has been the most dominant rider, I would say, out here. It's Kirkfield again, Dragon Time on top of the table there with another win, 29-41. So looking at the split point, it's down at 8th to 9th is where you can see that 2-second gap opens up. Everybody else on ST, same time here for the first 8 spots. So obviously there should be some changes, or we'll see what happens with the final GC, the classification general. But it's Kirkfield on top of the table with Teppo L'Oreal in at second, Jeffrey Malure for third. And congratulations, Jeffrey and Teppo, on your national championships. Morten Christensen in for fourth. It's Jarl Pedersen in at fifth today. Andreas Orntoft for sixth. Ajay Nesset in seventh. James Young for eighth. Oystein Makkegaard in at ninth. And then Lucas Schlittmann in the top 10. Welcome to the big time, Lucas. In 11th, it's Dan Groom. Kim Valderino in 12th. Noah Levesque in 13th. Alex Heaney 14th today. Brandon Martin in 15th. Niall, good job in 16th. Joachim Leeson in 17th. Cedric Richard in 18th, RT Kaboom in 19th, and then Jan Bauer rounds out our top 20 for the A's, racing on the Knickerbocker World Championship course. Darren Jones in 21st, Matthias Valbeck, Hamish Carson, Radek Bushwecki making up 22, 23, and 24 here. Arno Devel in 25th, Paul Donald in 26th, Laurent Vingeres 27th, Stefan Simons in 28th, Vincent Lesdickler in 29th, and then making that coveted top 30. And these are some massive fields that we start. Frederick Nilsson coming through today, making the top 30 in the A's out on the old Knickerbocker.
In the B category was Lankman off the front forever, and he was able to hold on to the line. It was it's Morris riding for Demonti, I think, who was able to come across with a massive, caught at the line. My mistake there was Garuso, that big kick with that downhill into the uphill. Then it was going to be for third, right behind him, Rigby. Good to see Simon Rigby back at it. And then Morris able to just hold on. I believe Momac got him even here too. Wow. As it was Steve. Good to see Steve is there. Did he get an upgrade? Is that going to be Steve got an upgrade perhaps? Because I think he was racing C's last week. Now Manalo is there. Toby also from the Zwift Club. And then Bonnie from Ronin. So that is your B's there coming across the line. Let's take a look at the results for our top 30 here, Dave.
If that's true, then that upgrade was certainly warranted, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
Christian,
right? Oh my gosh! If you're hanging in the top 10 there, Editor Steve is there.
If that is true, everybody in the D's were like, "I told you so," or in the C's, excuse me. So, Christian Lankman, congratulations, Christian. That was fun to watch. We knew you had it the whole time. Look how efficient he was too, Nathan. Isn't that cool? To see 4 watts per kilo taking the win out here, that's some Zwiftcraft. It's Henrik Garuso coming through for second, Simon Rigby in for third, Grant Womack in fourth, Spencer Morrison fifth, Editor Steve in sixth, Dan Manolo, nice to see you out there, Dan, in seventh, Bonnie, yes. That's going to be Ronan.
U2, the lead singer of U2. U2.
That's what I was kind of stuck on. All right, Toby Zwift Club. You know me too well. Hasn't quite gotten
what he's looking for. He needs to get a little better, position.
It's Bono, though. That's where I was like, wait, what? Yeah. All right, Frederick Frisk in at 10th. These are our B's that we're looking at now. That was the top 10. In 11th here is AT. Andrew Todd, Tim Elskins of Ava Synergy in 12th. I love what Ava Synergy is doing lately as well. It's Nicholas Bremer coming through in 13th, Joachim DB in 14th, Chris Whaley in 15th, Jose Teixeira is in 16th today in our Bs, Joseph Wilcox in 17th, John Ferrand in Ferud, in 18th, Lasse Olsson in 19th, and then Dave Bitchie in 20th for the mighty Coned team. We go all the way to your top 30 with Christian Speidel in 21st, Jan Eric Miland in 22nd, Peter Winridge in 23rd, Jacques in 24th. It's Alban de Lurm in 25th, RG for 26th, and Gray for 27th. Loudest Leo in 28th, P.A. Patterson for 29th, and then Morton Sormbron, Morton, nice job. You made the top 30 today for our Bs. Now, Nathan, I bet you got our Cs. What happened out there in the finale?
Well, Kolkloff, he made the move, didn't he, Dave? But it was Greg Doucette, our bodybuilding pro, showing up, coming out of Canada, and we were having all the conversation about the food, Dave. Well, you said, what was that stuff called again?
Poutine.
Yeah,
the fries with the gravy and the cheese curds, and it's.
I wonder if that's what he's eating. Cool. I don't think that's what he's eating.
I doubt it. I don't think there's a lot of fat in this man's diet. Probably egg whites. So
Brown
that's going to be.
Kittleson ended up fattling it out, and he doesn't even get a top 4, Dave. I think he took 5th. I'll double check on that one. Man, it was a good go though, Dave. It really makes the race. It makes the race though when they make those moves, doesn't it?
It sure does. And you know what? I mean, as they say, heroes often fail, and that's truly the case there. You know, it's a hero move. It didn't work out, but you still had the heart. So, Coach Greg, good job. It's a pleasure having you out here with us. Check him out on YouTube. It's Christian Brown in for second today, Dan Kaprick in third, Mark Kolkloff. Well, he held on for fourth, Nathan. So that was the man who attacked late, went big. Johan Vansen for 5th, Matt Scherup in at 6th, James Bont for 7th, Paul Sykes in 8th. These are our C's, and in the top 10 is Sebastian Lefevre, and it's Harold Fast rounding out your top 10. But don't you worry, we got your top 20 now, top 30. Never sell it short. Ross B in 11th, Steve Elliott in 12th, Alex Bendixby in 13th, Luke Fraga for 14th, Lucas Bergqvist in 15th, that's Ward for 16th. It's 17th today for Gav S. It's Philippe Van Opstal in 18th, Grant Ching in 19th, and Florian Mathis is into the top 20. The top 30 has Patrick Winder there. Aki Sunland in 22nd, Michael Woodford for 23rd, Roland Rabian for 24th, Sasso T in 25th, Graham Buckman in 26th today, Auden Merking in 27th, Ignacio Mendoza for 28th, John Paradines. I wonder if that's a relation to Jasper. John in 29th,
spelled
Paul
a little
Biggs.
different. It's spelled a little different. Paradines,
oh, is it? Thank you,
there's an E. There's an AE, I think, in there with Jasper. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right. You're sharp. You are sharp, my friend. I'm glad you're in charge. All right, Paul Diggs in 30th.
Well, Ty Diddy look at the slow-mo here with Ty Diddy. We'll also bring this in here as Teppo's letting us know. Not yet, but he won the National Cup, but Nats are after Z Games. He'll do. I wonder who the competition is, too. 4 weeks we're hearing from Juha Matti Halonen.
Well, he's the current national champion then.
Yeah, he
right?
is.
So,
yeah, he is. Yeah, good call.
Right.
Yeah.
In a weird way, like they say, a broken clock is right 2 times a day. That's your classic example for announcing. It's like, no, he wasn't freshly minted national champion, but he is national champion.
True. Very true. Well, here, Dave, this was an interesting finish, wasn't it? Like, we had a whole lot going on, and essentially the U.S. election ruined the race, so I apologize, everyone.
You know what? The whole world is saying that, I think.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, here we go with the results.
Leave the politics out of it.
Leaving the politics out. Well, I didn't bring them. These guys named themselves Trump and Biden, okay? So here we go.
Well, let's see if either of them made the top 30. It's, our man, Ty Diddy Sr., the quarter peloton activities. Right. And definitely appreciate you as the champ. On top of the table, it's Renkova in for second, Not So Slim in for third, Frank Eggert, the Alpecin rider, in fourth, Peter Sliva in fifth, Paul W. sixth, Andreas Schmitz in seventh, Mark for eighth, Jonas Israel in ninth, and then Matt H. is in the top 10. We love our Ds for sure. Not So Slim got a lot of airtime.
Mr. Greedy. His name is Mr. Greedy. That Mr. character. Greedy. Yeah. Because that's why. Okay.
We settled in on that, Mr. Greedy. Yeah, that's your final answer? Yeah, all right. Sure. Nick Harper in for 11th, Adrian Miller 12th, Dave Finland in for 13th, James Oram 14th. It's El Comandante in 15th, Stefan Gehan in 16th, John Mon in 17th, Sylvain Merritt for 18th, Matty Boy 19th, and Ian Robertson. That rounds out the top 20. We guarantee top 30. And here it is with BGP Cycling in 21st. It's Barry Grant Duncan of 22nd, Lauren Kay in 23rd. 24th is Ernest Chalkley. It's Jacob Heidenbach in 25th, Josip Asunci in 26th, Damien Lesenthal in 27th, Paragoner Larson 28th, Albert Puraquetz in 29th, then Jens Kubiak. That's our top 30. Nathan, that was another fun. Mondays are just guaranteed to be a blast.
Yeah, tons of fun. I bet you everybody out there racing had fun as well.
I bet they did.
Yeah. Now we will be doing Zwift Games for March. So for the entirety of March, you can do the Zwift Games courses that have been announced, and we will be, instead of ZRacing, they've paused ZRacing, and Zwift Games is what is going to be replacing ZRacing for the month of March. So take a look at that. We'll be following the GC. We'll be making sure to bring in those GC times throughout the Zwift Games for the community racing. So just as a heads up, that's community racing focus here on Zwift Community Live. And then on the weekends,
this time of day.
Racing this time of day. Yep. We'll be. Dave's like, You haven't put that in the calendar, Nathan? I need to know.
But I'm stoked. Yeah. I'm stoked. We've been really busy lately with all kinds of cool projects and fun things happening around this, haven't we? So I'm just happy to hear that you were able to. I know you advocate for this community nonstop. And this is another good example of, we love the fact that Zwift Games is available for everybody. So we'll get a chance to check it out, peel back the curtain and look at what's happening in your races.
5 stages. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be great. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We will be live tomorrow. Zwift Racing League TTT Day. We'll be covering the Bs and a little bit of the Cs tomorrow. We'll look at everybody's times across as well, but the main images we'll be getting are going to be across the Bs and the Cs. Those have all been scheduled over on ZwiftPower.com right now if you want to see what category or what races specifically that we are covering. And we'll be back at you on Wednesday night for the new time for the wrap. And then this weekend, go over to Zwift's main pages for the Zwift Games. I'll be over there as an analyst, and Dave's been done some awesome interviews for that as well. And there'll be a whole lot of new talent and well-known talent coming in on Zwift Games. Super excited for the sprint races this weekend. Well, and then one last thing for all of the GC for ZRacing, head over to ZwiftPower.com. It is Race Like a Champ hashtag under the Leagues tab. And also you can shoot for that overall still. I mean, we've got few more days in Race Like a Champ. I think it'll go all the way through this weekend through Sunday. So definitely, if you want to try and get that GC, still up for grabs. Dave, lots of fun as usual.
Yeah, can't wait. Finals. I mean, it's hard to believe it's the final week of racing for Zwift Grand Prix, but it just gets better as we roll right off of that into Zwift Games. So thanks, Nathan. Another great day.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for Zwift Racing League. As always, from Dave and I, ride on.